Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching. By law, I have to tell you that this is for entertainment purposes only. All videos are property of Psychic Liz Cross, LLC. Thank you.
Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. It's Mr. Reality, and I'm joined by psychic medium Liz Cross. Liz, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm so excited for this one. Oh, what a brilliant idea. Thank you.
Charles Schultz's birthday's coming up next week on Wednesday. He'll be 103. Not that he's around with us anymore, but I wonder if we could bring in the energy of Charles Schultz and talk to him about Peanuts characters and his inspiration and what he's been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. He's here.
How did he know he was coming down? Was it me calling him or you calling him? Like, how is that bell rung over there?
It was you calling him.
Oh, well, hello. Now, if I called him on my own, would he appear and I could talk to him and just couldn't hear him?
Yes, but you wouldn't
Oh,
be able to see him or hear him, unfortunately.
that's interesting. So when we call upon, other people out there, I'm wondering for the holidays, if you want to call on a spirit, your family, your friends, your relatives, you could call them and talk to them, even though you can't hear them as maybe not a medium, but you could tell them things in confidence, right?
Always. They're
Oh, that,
always listening. You just can't see or hear them, but they're always there. And if you ask for a sign, they'll most likely give you some sort of sign. Yes.
wow. That's cool. Well, I wanted to ask Charles Schultz. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Schultz. How are you doing? What's been happening in the last 20 or so years, 25 years?
Oh, he's been quite busy, actually.
Okay.
hmm
How so?
He loves being an artist and a creator, and he is working on his, are you drawing? He's drawing as I'm talking to him, by the way, and he keeps handing me like pieces of paper that he's drawn on. Very, very good drawings. So he's working on his series for the next life. So whereas he created Peanuts in this lifetime, he is going to create another version in the next lifetime to allow children to reconnect to their feelings, he says.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he did he still identify then with the identity of Charles Schultz, or has he just had many drawing lifetimes or artistic lifetimes?
I mean, he's Charles Schultz as he's standing here, but he's had many, many artistic lifetimes. That's his thing.
How many incarnations as a human has Mr. Schultz had?
How many incarnations as a human? Hmm, about 300.
And how is he managing on the other side?
He loves it. He says, there's no place I'd rather be right now.
What did he hide most from his readers writing Peanuts?
His dark side.
I think we all probably hide that. What was it about his dark side that he didn't want to share? I mean, the horrors of war, probably. He was in liberation of a couple of concentration camps in World War II as a service member. So what else was dark?
What else is dark? There were a lot of dark aspects to his life. Um, he did see a lot of death. He did see a lot of suffering. He suffered, but he never was able to pull himself out of the imagery of the horrors unless he was drawing and transporting his consciousness and creating like a whole different world. He was Charlie Brown.
Hmm. Is his Snoopy was inspired by his childhood dog Spike, who came as Snoopy's brother later on. Is Spike with him now as a spirit or not?
No, Spike is back down here.
Oh, in the same family line, or has Spike moved on somewhere else?
He's trying out a new soul family at the moment, but he'll be back.
What was Woodstock's inspiration?
Oh, what was the inspiration for Woodstock? Woodstock was his imaginary friend.
Aw.
Yeah.
Did he have one as a youth, or did that continue with him through his old age?
he definitely had one in his youth, and it was like Woodstock never left. Um, Woodstock was with him wherever he went. He, the way Charlie Brown felt was how Charles Schultz felt about his own life. That was that was the depression. And actually, he's telling me all of those characters were different aspects of his personality. So you
Really?
had, bossy Lucy, and you had which one is it that has the blankie?
There's Linus, there's Pigpen,
Linus with
there's
the
Snoopy, there's
blankie.
Peppermint Patty, there's Sally, there's Marcy.
That's right, Marcy. And then when things were really bad in his depression, he was like Pigpen, where he couldn't bathe and he couldn't wash and he couldn't pull himself up to care about his surroundings. And those were extreme. So, gosh, this is so interesting and so great. So, all of those characters were him.
Was it a type of like DID or just aspects of his personality?
Hmm. Just different aspects of his personality that he associated with himself. Like he would notice that I'm like, were you schizophrenic? He was slightly schizophrenic.
Can you be
So
slightly schizophrenic? Like, what are the degrees of that? How are they measured?
he heard voices. They were
Was,
mild, but he
was he a
said,
medium?
were you a medium? Now, okay, I gotta say this. So a lot of times schizophrenics will think that they're mediums because they think that the voices that they hear are the same voices that someone like me hears, but that's not the case. The
Okay.
voices that a schizophrenic hears are different, and we did a whole thing on this, are different elements of their consciousness that has split. It's like a splitting of the consciousness, a fragmentation. And so the information is coming from within themselves. Now, as a psychic medium, the information comes from outside of yourself, right? So if I'm wanting to get information from Charles Schultz or from whoever, I'm going outside of myself to find that information. So what did you go outside of yourself to find that information? And he says no. He was it was mild, but he had a psychotic break. And do you
Really?
believe that was what happened? Yes, he says that is what he believes caused his schizophrenia.
Was that from the war or some other time? Earlier in childhood or his youth?
It was post-war, but it was because of the war, because those thoughts would just not go away. The images, the horror on people's faces, the
Hmm.
watching people being executed. Right. So he says he had a psychotic break because he was trying everything to escape, right? So he's creating these characters, and this is not the only line of characters he created. He's created loads of other things as well, but obviously this was his most successful. I feel he has a lot of what he's telling me, unpublished works. Um, but he just still could not escape it no matter how hard he tried. And eventually he had a bit of a psychotic break. Well, after that, he was never the same again. And that is where he says the voices started.
Was there a character within Peanuts that he deemed too dangerous for prime time that maybe he deleted early on in like the early drafts?
No,
Okay. And does he feel
he quite liked, who's the little sister, Sally?
Sally? Yeah.
That reminded him. Of who? So Sally reminded him of someone he knew, but I just don't feel she was no, she wasn't around any longer.
Do you feel that you expressed everything you wanted to on Earth?
Oh no, there's so much more.
Like what?
Like the need to express feelings
Hmm.
and to be able to process and absorb and heal from things that are very traumatic imagery. Again, he's very much about visuals and imagery. There are children that see and hear things that they can never get out of their heads. And this, he's talking about in the next incarnation, he's going to try, he's working on it now, to find a way that children can express themselves through, again, a series of characters. They will connect to these characters and they can say, well, that's how I feel, which is what he did in this lifetime, right? He took although he says they were different aspects of himself, um he wants children to be able to connect to them.
Are feelings different on the other side than down here on the Earth plane?
Most definitely.
What's the difference and what are the nuances?
Well, you don't really connect with the negative feelings on the other side. It's just joy and happiness. Now, I've got a question for him. I'm sorry. Okay, but sometimes when people come through in a reading with me, they'll hold their head down. They're trying to express that they are ashamed of their behavior here on the earth plane, that they're sorry, or they're trying to express some negatives. But he's okay, thank you. He's telling me, yes, but that's because they're connecting to earth plane energy. I'm on the earth plane and they have to plug into me to use my energy field in order to transmit that information across. So when they're plugging into me, they're plugging into earth plane energy. So then they can reconnect with those feelings again. But
Oh, okay.
in the spirit world, he's saying, no, you really don't, it's kind of like it's all erased at some level.
Are there different feelings on the other side that we don't have on the Earth plane?
Pure joy. And I'm saying, can we not experience pure joy here on the earth plane? He says only
Lottery,
very shortly after
winning the lottery.
childbirth.
Oh,
Right.
that too. Yeah,
Well, what about winning the lottery? Yeah, but that's fleeting. He's
it
talking about
is.
a permanent state of pure joy.
And then how many people is he engaging with? How many people are in his circle right now on the other side?
Well, he's very popular, so
Yeah.
thousands.
Does he lecture?
Yes, he does lecture.
Exciting. How many lectures does he give and what does he discuss? Is it like the feelings that people have that they're not expressing or that they never connect with? What are some of the theses of his talks?
Well, it's about creating new art in the future on the earth plane. Wouldn't this be great? Isn't this a new idea? So they're talking about maybe, so apparently he's saying we're going to discover a load of new colors that have never been discovered before. And
Oh,
it's about using these new colors in art. And how many colors? A good 20 or so new colors that have otherwise not been visible to the eye. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
yeah. Revlon, I'm sure will have a new line of new colors out very soon. Um, does he feel that? So when he died, I think if I recall correctly, he retired Snoopy or wrote like a letter on Snoopy's doghouse and then like died a couple days later. Did he know in his heart that he was not well, or did it just happen to be that he ended when Peanuts ended?
Did you? No. that you were not well. He knew it was over. He knew his time was up.
How did he know?
How did you know? He received an imagery. His mother called down to him and told him it was time. He was seeing a lot of people in spirit that were starting to prepare him to welcome him over to the other side. So he knew it was time.
Wow. What would you
Mm.
like people to take away from your work?
Happiness. If it made them smile and feel good and entertain them for a while, that's all that he wants. He's satisfied knowing that.
What was his life review like? Did they say how many people he influenced, or did they talk about the trauma that he experienced? How long was it? Where did he sit in a room? Is there like a guide that walks you through it? What's that like?
What was your life review? Well, it's like basically almost like a download. You're you feel everything, you see everything, but it happens very quickly. And it just is one big understanding when you get to the other side.
Hmm.
Um, sorry, what was the other questions?
Well, it's interesting. He said you feel things. So is that life review process different than the feelings that you now have on the other side? Like you're able to feel and emote like an earthling in that last gasp of life review, are you saying?
Oh, that's a great question. Were you? Yes, and it's like how you felt as a human, how others made you feel, how you made others feel, how you touched people's lives. His life review was quite long because obviously, even though it happens in a flash, but it was definitely longer than others because he did touch so many people around the world. Um, he felt very positive after his life review, and it just reconfirmed to him that this is what he loves and he wants to keep doing what he loves, which is being an artist and sharing those talents to the world.
So how is he able to feel over there in the feelings room and not now? Do they like take that pulse of feelings away from you? Are they processed in some way? I'm just curious about why did he feel at that moment in the life review, but not those feelings now? Like, where do they go?
Where did those feelings go? It's like they wash away. When you come out of the other side of the life review, you have a deeper understanding, a deeper wisdom. It's almost like an imprinting of that lifetime, but it condenses down into something very minuscule and it gets locked away in the soul until like someone like us, we call him down and then he, opens the box back up and he's Charles Schultz, right? But it just like it's a packaging. It takes that lifetime and just puts it down in this teeny tiny, he's showing me like little box and then it's locked away and imprinted for the next lifetimes and it is never to really be remembered again. But the essence of his soul is definitely a creator, an artist.
Can we talk to the person who did his life review? I've got some questions for them too.
Ooh. Oh my God. Right. Wow, this is amazing. We've never done that before. Okay, so I have them. They're quite high up
Angelic
and
realm or seraphim, some type of higher energy being?
definitely.
And have they been incarnated recently, or are they done with that shtick?
Have you been incarnated recently? No. That was a long millions of years ago.
So hasn't really had a human lifetime. What happens to
Yeah.
these emotions when they're washed away in the life review?
So this advisor or guide is basically saying that it's like a mind wipe as well. We go through several mind wipes. We go through the mind wipe when we're coming down, we go through the mind wipe when we're going up there, and then the life review is another opportunity for the mind wipe. So he's basically saying that the feelings are locked away, like there's no need to remember them. They are energetic. And again, he's saying that they're condensed down, they're shrunken down into hardly anything. But you see, that's unfair
Right.
because how are you supposed to heal and fix? I'm going to put this question over to them. How are you supposed to heal and fix things when everything is packaged up, locked down, and then you have to find a past life practitioner um, in order to facilitate the healing of these things that have been locked away? And he's like, "That's your problem." Now, I don't like that. I don't like that answer. Well, that's your problem. See, there's a lot of resistance as I'm asking that question as well.
Well, not a
It's
human being either that we're talking to, so they don't understand the plight of the Earth incarnation. They're just a, guide and facilitator. Has this person that did the life review, do they always do the Charles Schultz life review, or is it a different person every incarnation?
No, there's different ones. He has done his life review a few times, and I'm saying, how many of you are doing life reviews? Is that all you do? Yes, it is all they do. That's their task, that's their job. And how many are there of you that are doing life reviews? I mean, he's indicating a handful, but I would think that it has to be more than a handful. He's getting very aggressive with me. He just
All
told me
right.
to shut up.
Well, I'm just trying to, get to the bottom of things. Sorry about that. We're, bucking the system. So I'll ask the Charles Schultz, and then we'll ask the life review person care practitioner. Is there any damage that he feels that we're doing by bringing forth the energy of Charles Schultz and chatting with him?
Is there any damage that you believe? No, no. Because that's what it's there for, to be able to tap into that lifetime. Now there's always this thing that religion touts that you shouldn't, some religions tout that you shouldn't make connections with deceased on the other side. And I'm asking, do you agree with that? And he says, no, no, that's also meant to happen, which we have gotten that before in a channeling somewhere that, oh yeah, well, they're supposed to come down and give this message to humanity.
I think it's an educational show that we bring here to the people. So I thank each one of you out there listening and supporting Liz. If you're not a member, go to patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond and show Liz some support on Ko-Fi. And we'll turn this around and ask the facilitator of the life review, is there any damage to the emotions or the personality small box of Charles Schultz that is happening to it for us to bring him forth and ask him these questions?
No, no, there isn't. Again, I'm getting the same sort of feedback here, which is that that is what is supposed to happen.
How are those feelings shrunk down?
It's it's mathematical. There's like it's almost like some sort of mathematical machine, this room or this chamber you walk into, and it just is mathematically shrinking everything down. So that you are
And
not up there parading around as Charles Schultz. You're parading around as soul number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Like
is that how
almost
they're
like,
identified with a designation like social security number or ID number?
are they identified with, yeah, they have IDs. Yeah, is it like a digital ID? Pretty much.
We're getting that down here now, aren't we?
Pretty much like a digital ID, and it keeps all of your information on it. It's like a barcode. Yeah. Is it numbers? It's more complex than that. But in our terms that we understand here, it's numbers.
Can we ask the facilitator what other things are encoded in that barcode?
Your entire history.
So karma, uh, weight, personalities, experiences, past connections. What else?
Future connections are also in the energy of the barcode, unresolved issues, soul family connections, previous soul family, possible potential future soul family, um, yeah, options, opportunities, DNA when it's manifested in physical form. Oh gosh, everything. Everything that is you is in that digital ID, that barcode.
Does the facilitator think that we have choices or free will down here on the Earth plane?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
That's taken away from us.
Why is that the system?
Really, why is that the system? Because the system wouldn't work if we had free will to change things en masse down here. It would just completely make the entire consciousness machine, the universal consciousness machine, malfunction and shut down.
So is there
It,
free
it's,
will when, oh, sorry, go ahead, Liz.
you go ahead.
Is there free will when you're plotting your next lifetime, or have those future lifetimes also been predetermined by the system or your barcode?
No, there's free will in determining the future lifetimes, but what they're showing me, it's like an engine, right? You need everything in the engine to work properly. If something in the engine says, "Oh, I maybe I want to not be part of this engine anymore. I want to be something else." Well, what happens to the entire engine? The engine doesn't work. That's why the free will is non-existence here. Now that we do have free will, and I know those of you that have been listening to me for a long time, and I appreciate all of you, the free will we do have is how you feel about certain situations and events, right? How you feel in your consciousness. But other than that, it really is all predetermined.
Are there other things on par with karma that we don't know about, like other systems of guidance or judgment down here that we haven't uncovered yet?
Ooh, so are there other things on karma or systems or that we have not uncovered yet? Not really. I mean, we pretty much are just peeling back the layers but it's not really anything like kapow that would really surprise anyone. Most of the layers have been pierced over there through lots of different even sages in the past.
How does Charles still think this interview went?
How fantastic.
How much longer until we can see his new script that he's working on? When's he coming back?
He's not sure yet. He is just so appreciative of us allowing him to speak to his audience today.
We're appreciative of him coming down to chat with us and his life review expert. I think that was something fun we hadn't done before.
Mm.
What parts of his personality does he feel are dissolved when crossing over to the other side? And will he be able to bring those back in his next incarnation?
Ooh, what parts of the personality do you feel are dissolved? Grumpiness. He could be a bit of a grump. And anything else? Depression. This sometimes manic behavior, these manic episodes. Um, the negatives really have been dissolved, but will they manifest again back in physical form? Yes, they will. Because again, those personality traits, those negatives are, shrunk down, packaged, but to be reopened again once in the body. and through, re-triggering events.
Hey, Chuck, happy birthday. Thanks for joining us. Happy holidays to everybody.
Yes, and it's Thanksgiving for us next week here. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone.